And a continued slowdown at the ports, or as Jane just mentioned, a shutdown, could turn into a big headache for a key pillar of the economy. Courtney Reagan has more.
The West Coast port congestion could be a $7 billion problem for retail. This weekend's temporary port shutdown has the retail industry riled up about the prolonged and likely continuing economic impact. Consultancy firm Kurt Salmon estimates congestion at West Coast ports could cost retailers as much as $7 billion this year, ballooning to $37 billion next year, thanks to the increased costs to reroute the transportation of goods and missed sales due to products being out of stock.
We're expecting it to hit retailers in calendar year 2016 in a major way, and I would expect that that would result in higher costs for consumers by the end of next year.
A shutdown would be much worse and wider reaching. More than half of the nation's imports enter through the West Coast ports. The National Retail Federation and National Association of Manufacturers estimate a 10-day shutdown could cost the economy more than $2 billion per day. On its earnings call, Michael Kors CEO John Idle said the additional transport costs haven't had a material impact on the business yet, but warned revenues could take a hit and costs could rise going forward. Ralph Lauren has shifted goods to East Coast ports, which has extended transit time by 3 to 10 days.
The best retailers are pulling things through air freight or shifting through alternate ports. They're shifting that volume through and taking the cost hit in order to keep the potential for lost sales down.
And while no retailer is likely to go unscathed by the disruptions, Leo says the retailers that will see minimal impact are those that have planned ahead, like fast fashion retailers Forever 21, H&M, and Zara, which are likely to have already built in the higher cost of air freight to their margin structure. FBR retail analyst Susan Anderson says L Brands, Children's Place, and Hanes brand are best positioned to weather the congestion because they too rely on air freight and have other logistical capabilities. Even if there's a resolution relatively soon, Anderson thinks it could still take the bulk of this year to sort through the backlog of containers clogging West Coast ports. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Courtney Reagan.